Welcome back, YouTube. We are not stopping for a pee break right now, are we? Do you have to pee?
Not yet.
Well, I don't have to either. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
So, welcome back. We are on our way to Pennsylvania. Gasoline in Pennsylvania right now is $3.09. Do not swipe or click. Stay with us. Please like, share, and subscribe. Royal Auto Service. I follow you. I like what you do. I love your shop. Kind of envy of his shop. It's like brand new building with every brand new tool. Seems like a stand-up dude. Seems like him and I share very similar goals for our customers, right? And expectations of our staff. Trying to do the right thing all the time. He did a video that BMW turned into an absolute nightmare. Well, he should know this working on used BMWs. Not brand new BMWs, because they go to the dealership when they're brand new. But used. His experience and his knowledge should tell him when you work on a BMW, and this is just my customer comes in with a BMW that's overheating, it's a nightmare. Customer comes in with a BMW leaking coolant, it's a nightmare. It's never a simple thing. You have a Mercedes with a coolant leak, it's a nightmare. He should know this. And I'm going to just give you my opinion of where he went wrong, and he actually does a video on where they went wrong. And he really says it in a tiptoeing, nice way. He should have just really said, we fucked up. We saw blue crusties on a hose. All the hoses and plastic were all installed at the same time. And we should advise the customer to replace everything. Cut and dry. That is my exact diagnostic when any car comes in today that we see that the entire cooling system is nothing but plastic attached to rubber or plastic attached to plastic. So if the thermostat housing's got crusties on it, you're getting a thermostat housing, you're getting any line or hoses that attach to it. It's possible that the radiator neck is brittle and ready to snap. And it's a snowball effect. He should know that. And he should tell every one of his customers, let me just warn you, Mr. Customer, hey, I know I see some blue crusties here. You're not seeing a leak, but that is signs of a leak. And I just want you to be prepared that my advice to you, although you may not want to hear this on your 5-year-old vehicle, right? Your Bimmer, your BMW, your Mercedes, your Volkswagen, any of these pieces of crap that they build today, and I'm saying that, pieces of crap, cheaply made underhood components, plastic. Plastic does not like heat. Plastic does not like the cold. Plastic does not like temperature swings from hot to cold, where they fail. Where rubber doesn't usually have that problem unless it's contaminated with something on it. But what's cheaper? Plastic. Plastic. What's more expensive? Rubber. So, it takes a lot of balls for an owner, when he's the owner, to say, hey, we fucked up. It wasn't as simple as we thought. But he should have known, based on his experience and knowledge, to say, hey, Mr. Customer, this hose is showing signs of it, and everything else in the cooling system is near death. Even though it's not showing it, as soon as I cough on it, sneeze on it, look at it, bump on it, vibrate on it, pressurize the coolant system, not pressurize the coolant system, bleed and fill the coolant system, put the system under a vacuum, we're going to create more problems that you don't have necessarily right now, because that's the nature of the beast. This is the world we live in today. That's the truth, right? They say don't throw stones at glass houses. Well, your engine bay is basically a glass house of plastic today. And it doesn't take much for a chain reaction of events to happen working in an engine bay today. Bump something plastic that's old and brittle, that's not failed, it's going to fail. And most time it's failing as you're touching it, and you don't tell the customer about it. Like, damn, I just broke this. And now I got to tell the customer, or not tell the customer, or I'm going to eat this. So where he dropped the ball is, he knew better. He knows better. And regardless if you're on one side of the car or the other, it's still you working on the car. Even opening and closing the hood too hard on weak plastic components causes failure. That's a fact. They're not in the shop because their car is in good condition to say. They're usually there for maintenance, and you're identifying areas of problems. That's what your goal is, to keep an eye on the customer's car while they're there and say, hey, you're not seeing coolant, but here's a picture of this coolant hose that has a blue beard or a green beard or a red beard or a pink beard. We call them the crusties, the snail trails. And ultimately, in the end, it's cooling system failures. Now that everything is plastic, water pump, thermostat housings, tees, coolant bottles, on and on and on, it isn't just service one piece. And I'm going to tell you a story. Regular customer, been servicing them for 18 years. Purchased a Mercedes. Was doing okay on the maintenance, doing better on the repairs than he was on maintenance. 100,000 miles, basically pile of crap Mercedes. To the point where the cost of fixing the engine for internal problems from time and chain was like $8,000, not including neglected maintenance, interior, cosmetic, other things. They finally got rid of it. Oh, and the heater core was clogged. Another issue. So instead of committing to all that, we're like, hey, yeah, you just might want to get rid of this. And they did. So then what does he get? He gets a newer BMW. We've been maintaining it and the mechanicals for 60,000 miles. He's in for an oil change. And I'm looking at the cooling system. And you have to pull down the diaper underneath the car to really see things. From the top, I see blue crusties on a hose. I pull down the diaper. It's got blue crusties in it. That's absorbing that problem so he can't see it in his driveway. And I'm like, damn, this is a fucking nightmare. Does he really want to cross this path? So at the oil change, I say, hey, you got things brewing. We didn't estimate anything. I'm just saying, hey, you're not aware of this. Send him pictures. He trusts us because I don't see anything in my driveway. It says because how BMW and a lot of manufacturers put this shielding underneath your vehicle, it's like a diaper, and the small stuff you're not going to see. And he's like, okay, that makes sense. 3 weeks after the oil change, his coolant light is on, and he says, hey Anthony, something's up. My low coolant light's on. I put it up in the air. Now he's got coolant leaks coming from a couple different spots, and primarily the spots that showed the crusties, but the temperature's swinging big time in New Jersey. So I said, I just want to tell you my opinion at this mileage with an entire plastic cooling system is that you're probably going to need to spend $4,000 or $5,000 to restore this cooling system. And I said, and everything has to come from BMW. I will not use anything aftermarket. So he goes, damn, I'm still making payments on this BMW at 60,000 miles, right? He listens to me.
Yes.
And I said, yeah, my opinion is that these things need to be in the junkyard at 60,000 miles. And don't take it personal. I'm not attacking you. It's just the crap that they build. No, Anthony, I understand. You're my mechanic forever. And I trust your advice. He goes, I don't really know what to do right now. He goes, and you're really thinking $4,000, $4,000 to $5,000? I said, Julio, you're talking about thermostat, hoses, outlets, plastic lines, this, that, connectors, on and on and on. This is my experience when it comes to these kind of cars. It isn't just put a hose on it. And I won't even do that. If the customer doesn't commit to doing it the way that I want to do the job, what the F is going on here? Is there a cow crossing the road somewhere? This is our route to gold. Or something.
On this road?
Yes. So he says, well, I think I'm just going to trade it in. I say, please don't trade it in for another BMW. You're making ridiculous car payments for a car that only lasts about 60,000 miles without needing major repairs. Listen up, people. New cars that can't last 60,000 miles without needing major repairs that are unwarranted, right? From crappy parts designs, crappy products, the cheapest products under your hood. He's like, all right, I think I'm going to go to BMW and see what it's going to cost for me to trade this in. So he's making payments. He's probably upside down in equity, so there's really no, like, hey, I'm trading in this car and it's worth more than I owe. Goes to BMW, says, hey, I want to get a new BMW, the appraisal, this, that. The math didn't work out for him. He says, hey, I just can't do a new car. It doesn't work out for me right now. What should I do? I said, while you're there, I said, see if there's any open recalls. See if there's anything else that needs to be done to the car that's free, right? Because that you're not aware of. And have the service department give you an estimate on the cooling system repairs. So warranty work, which we're going to just say it's not warranty work. We're going to call it open recalls and things like that were odds and ends that needed to be done. They also tried to sell them brakes that weren't needed right now. I said, I told you your brakes were low. We probably had another year based on your driving before it's absolutely necessary. No surprise that they tried to sell him brakes when he didn't need it. Dealership standards of needing brakes are way different than the standards in aftermarket for needing brakes. And that's a fact.
Do you know where you're going?
No, I'm following detour signs.
Oh.
So he says, hey, Aunt, dealership wants $3,800 to do the cooling system work. They also want to do an oil change for $300 with a new drain plug. And they said that you messed up the drain plug. I said, no, what you're seeing is instead of an Allen key drain plug, you have a bolt welded to it that just makes it easier for us to do your oil changes. Well, they don't want to do the oil change that way. They wanted to charge me $40 or something for a drain plug. He said, listen, dude, do the oil change for $300 and include a new drain plug, and I'll let you guys do the job. And absolutely no brake work. How about that? So what I was saying to him was 100% true, and I told him how this was going to go, and absolutely BMW is doing it the same way I'm doing it, the same way that Mercedes is doing it. And it's not that a mom and pop shop can't do that work. I can do that work. But it just worked out for him to be at the dealership, getting recalls done, and he got, what he got was an expensive repair at 60,000 miles on his BMW that he should not had to endure whatsoever. But based on the absolute cheapest products under 99% of the vehicles made today, that's what you're in for. And you're still making a payment. Now, this cooling system work probably should have been done before the blue crusties were identified. But I'm not microscoping the car all the time unless I see it. And I'm not usually the one who's working on it. So my techs look at it and they're just doing a quick visual. If they don't see low coolant bottle or drips, they're really not hunting things down. Just like this owner did. He went and looked.
What happened to the sun?
Looked at the rest of the car and said, hey, damn, I see another spot. It's not as bad. That's just saying exactly what I said. Just because you have one spot that's failed, there's other little spots that are failing all around the cooling system. And that's just the way it is today. So, and I said to Rachel, watch this video. It isn't me just making this up. This is industry standard for people's vehicles today. That you come in for a cooling system problem, it isn't just one problem. It's restore the entire cooling system. No different than when you come in with a car with 100 or 150,000 miles on it. Mechanical wear and neglects, it's time to start restoring this vehicle back to new condition. You're no longer fixing and repairing. You're in the restoration process of your vehicle, and that's how you keep them like new. And then once all the mechanicals are good and the engine and transmission are known to be good, then you can move on to interior restoration and exterior restoration and drive that car for another 10 years with no car payments.
When the horses got coats on it, it's cold.
$4,000 to fix a 60,000 mile BMW cooling system. And thank God that we identified it before he was driving down the highway at 80 miles an hour, spraying every ounce of coolant out of his twin-turbo BMW, that the head gasket didn't fail. Now you're talking a $20,000 job, if not more, at 60,000 miles. So yeah, try choking that down and still making a payment. That's why new cars, there's no value in new cars. None. Thanks for watching.